Pop quiz. The Supreme Court just gutted what was left of the Voting Rights Act in a 6-3 ruling last week. We've covered that. And the case is called Louisiana versus Calais. Killing the Voting Rights Act has been a Heritage Foundation, Project 2025, Donald Trump administration shared erotic fantasy for about a decade. So now the quiz. Who do you think the lead plaintiff turned out to be? Was it an aggrieved suburban dad? A constitutional scholar with a cat named Federalist? I'll let you take a guess. Give you a second. Well, the answer, broken this week by the Democracy docket, is, drumroll please, a Louisiana election conspiracy theorist who was at the Stop the Steal protest on January 6th. His name? Philip Burt Calais. And the entire conservative movement laundered him into the United States Supreme Court like he was a normal person. And this man, whose name is in the title of the case that just killed the Voting Rights Act, the case that just erased Louisiana's only black majority congressional district, the case that gives Republican legislatures across the country license to gerrymander black voters out of representation entirely. That man was on the Capitol grounds during the deadly insurrection to end our democracy. He posted photos, posted videos, writing, quote, "It wasn't total chaos as the news will lead you to believe." Meanwhile, in his videos, there's total chaos going on the steps of the Capitol. That's the guy. That's the face of the next 20 years of American voting law. This is the man whose Facebook page is full of QAnon retweets and rigged election conspiracy theories and Tina Peters is a hero defenses. That guy. The Supreme Court ruled on a case named after that guy. And the original legal complaint that became Louisiana versus Calais described Burt Calais like this, quote, "A non-African American voter from Brusley, Louisiana, whose congressional district changed after the state redrew its map." That sounds almost reasonable. It sounds almost like a regular guy, just a citizen, just a voter, just a guy who got a new district and went, this seems legally interesting. But the reality is that this is a man with a Facebook feed full of Stop the Steal videos who thinks that Joe Biden stole the 2020 election, and he calls voting machines rigged and defends Tina Peters, by the way, that's the Colorado clerk convicted in a voting systems data breach, calling her a hero protecting the country from a rigged election system. And look, we know this. We know that the Heritage Foundation, the authors of Project 2025, the actual policy blueprint that Donald Trump is running the federal government on, all they do is they identify a law that they want to kill. Then conservative legal organizations identify a plaintiff. The plaintiff is then allegedly groomed and laundered through a stack of friendly lower courts. Then the case lands in front of a Supreme Court whose 3 Donald Trump appointees, plus their 3 conservative friends, already know they're going to rule the way Heritage wants them to. Facts don't matter anymore. Truth doesn't matter anymore. Whether the plaintiff knows what an actual election looks like does not matter anymore. Instead, this whole apparatus is just a conveyor belt delivering conservative outcomes from a court that was designed to rule on them. And then you have your conservative donor class, your Charles Koch, your Leonard Leo, the entire dark money industry bankrolling this whole damn thing. They handpick justices. They fund the lawyers. They built that lower court pipeline in your backyard. They have greased the entire machine. While the rest of us, the ordinary voters, the people who go to the polls because we still believe that the system is supposed to mean something, we're sitting here being told by 6 unelected judges that the 8-decade civil rights consensus is over because a January 6ther was at that rally and had his district redrawn. And it pisses me off that they're doing this out in the open now. At least they used to have the courtesy to do it in quiet. Justice Alito, in his concurrence, called Justice Brown Jackson's dissent baseless and lacking restraint. So the court is now openly contemptuous of any justice that doesn't agree with the Heritage Foundation. The conservative legal movement isn't even trying to hide the puppet strings anymore. And you still have the Big Mac crushing goon in the Oval Office not pretending that he's not tearing up the Constitution while he does whatever Heritage tells him to do. And the Louisiana governor, Jeff Landry, for his role, we know he immediately suspended the state's primary elections after that ruling so that they can redraw the map fast enough to give Republicans a House seat before the midterms. And I think Alabama's going to do the same damn thing. Their primaries already started. This is a coordinated, well-funded, MAGA officials-backed Project 2025 operation top to bottom. All it is whoever yells the loudest and knows the right people. And there is not a single piece of our democratic republic that is safe from the tiny, rotting hands of Donald Trump and his Heritage Foundation oligarchs pulling his strings. And if we want to fight back, we fight back in November. They are not going to make it a fair fight. So it's up to you and me to start now. Start campaigning. Start knocking on doors. Start making sure you have a plan to make sure your vote is counted. That is how we take back this country.